I hope you all have learned from your mistakes from the first basic cooking video that I provided for y'all. And now we're gonna go to a little more intermediate class today. Today we will continue cooking speckled trout. I caught this fish today at the Grand Hotel. In case you noticed, not all those fish in that picture are speckled trout. You know what the other one is? It's a redfish.
We have salt right there
Where?
to the left.
What are you doing?
Videotaping.
I don't want videotape. For our ingredients today, we will be using a half cup of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of ground pepper, a half teaspoon of powdered ginger, a half teaspoon of... All right, let's go over the ingredients again. We had to pause there because I couldn't read my own handwriting. So, a list of our ingredients. We're first gonna do a half cup of almond flour, then 1 tablespoon of garlic, then a half a teaspoon of ginger, then a half tablespoon of ground pepper, and I wish my wife would stop cursing in the background, and then a teaspoon of paprika, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a half tablespoon of salt, and lastly a half tablespoon of cayenne. My wife is now back at the video camera. We were fortunate enough to get some roe out of the fish, so we're going to cook up some speckled trout roe today. Good source of caviar and protein. Here are the fillets from the fish. We left the skin on one side, and we left the tail on too. Sometimes when you fry them up on the pan sear them, the tails will crisp up and they get crunchy. If they taste good, we'll eat them. If not, we will toss it. But I'm going to make some slits here in the skin with a knife. Alright, so I'm making some slits in the skin here. And that way when we put in the batter here in a second, it will help hold some of the seasoning in the slits. And the skin, hopefully, when we pan sear it, will crisp up. And it'll be tasty as well to eat. If your knife won't cut through the skin, you may need a sharper knife. Alright. So we're going to start off just taking the fish, and here's the mixture we made. We're going to spread it out on these. So there's the eggs. The eggs usually take a little longer to cook than the meat. Alright, and then you're going to want to make sure you get in all the crevices here. Battered the roe and the fish, and now we're going to put on a cast iron skillet. We're going to be using olive oil and cook it on medium heat. Not hot enough yet. Alright, may need to wait a little longer for this to heat up. Our oil is heating up now.
She also talks exactly like her.
Started by cooking the skin side up, so we'll put that down in a few minutes. At 6 minutes at medium heat, I've now flipped these over. It depends how thick your fillets are and how long you need to cook them on each side. After 3 minutes on the skin side, but it probably needed less on the other side. As you can see, it's blackened a little bit. But the reason you're doing the skin the second when you flip it over is if it burns, you don't have to eat the skin.
Cinema magic.
If your pan is already warm, you can probably cook the fish 3 minutes on each side. However, when I put my fish on the pan, it was not warm enough, so it took 6 minutes on the first side and 3 minutes on the other side. We will let the fish rest for a couple minutes, and then it should be good to eat. And if you want to know how the salad was made, that'll be for a future video with my wife, Julia. we will have a special guest appearance today by my beautiful wife, Julia.
Delicious.
What's it taste like?
Tastes like fish this time.
Why you leave the tail on the fish?
It's like potato chips.
Taste the roe for us. How is it?
The roe is actually very good, more than the fish.
And this is why we left the skin on the fish. As you can see, it's crisped up nicely. Very tasty. This is very good. It is a little spicy, so if you don't like spicy, we used half a tablespoon of cayenne in this. You may want to decrease it to half a teaspoon.